Let's go to Canada now, where it looks like the Canadian Freedom Convoy is working, at least in part. And we're getting some movement now from the Canadian government, the Canadian Parliament, moving to try to end these overall vaccine mandate provisions, which of course led to the convoy in the beginning. And the United States is also stepping in on this.
That's right. So conservatives in the House of Commons are now calling for a vote to come up with a plan to end COVID restrictions and vaccine mandates. They're not saying, okay, we'll do what you want and end everything. They're saying, okay, we will put it up for a vote and come up with a government plan. Conservatives are saying, hey, you wanted to send a message that you would like some kind of progress to let you know when we will hear you. Message received, we've heard you. It is not Prime Minister Justin Trudeau who has received this message. He continues to just be missing in action. So while the House of Commons moves forward to actually set legislation, he is not there.
He's a coward. I mean, he's hiding. He's hiding at some safe house somewhere where he's releasing information about what's going on and saying we need to end these mandates. By the way, he's a patsy.
Ever heard of Zoom? You can show up, right?
No. I mean, you have the members of parliament standing there with suit and tie, and they're debating this in parliament, right? And then he's off in some, think about this. If this, how in the United States, I mean, we would be, think about what we did to Ted Cruz after he was be a freaking wimp and flew to Cancun and ditched his state and to get out of there. What would we do if Justin Trudeau was our president? Oh my God, this guy would be vilified for being in hiding right now.
I think he maybe made a gamble and said, if I have a COVID exposure, then I have to be in isolation for so many days and this will be over in that amount of days. But he gambled wrong, because the protests waited it out. So he is far past his isolation for any exposure that he may have had. Also, he could call in. He could call for a vote. He could, virtual technology exists to do this, and he's refusing to. Meanwhile, President Biden is calling upon Trudeau to use his federal powers to end protests. So he's not saying to put up legislation and end this in some kind of democratic way. Oh no, he's saying, go out there and strong arm them, use the federal government to get them out of here. But the conservatives in the House of Commons who are asking for this, who are calling for this to come up to a vote, are asking for a compromise, though, which is fair enough. So they're saying, we will consider this in government, but you have to end the blockades.
I love that the White House thinks that, I mean, here's the United States bravado again.
But this is what Trump did to Black Lives Matter. Let's just use the federal government, get them out of here. That's what we want.
But that's in the United States. I'm talking here's the bravado of the United States that thinks that we can tell the Canadians what to do.
Right.
Here's what you guys need to do up there. You need to pay attention. Governor Whitmer of Michigan calling on Joe Biden, calling on Justin Trudeau to end this blockade, saying it's going to destroy our economy here in Michigan because closing an additional bridge. There's the third bridge that's now being blocked. So you have these governors that are border governors saying, hey, we got to end this because it's going to crush our economy. We're trying to get jobs back and moving. We're facing high inflation, no goods flowing over the border here, no foods or no, auto parts and other things. It's going to absolutely be crushing. So I get that side of it. I hear you on that. But for the fourth straight day, these truckers are saying, no, we are going to stay here. We're blocking the Ambassador Bridge, which connects Windsor, Ontario to Detroit, disrupting the flow of auto parts and other products between the two countries. I heard from viewers yesterday who left me a comment, said, look, these normally that bridge, the Ambassador Bridge there in Windsor, Ontario, is just filled. I mean, we showed you the live shot here yesterday on the show. That bridge is backed up, right? Yesterday we showed you live. It was just totally empty. Not a car on the thing.
Yeah.
And it's usually flowing back and forth, very, very busy all day long. Not the case anymore. But the White House and Homeland Security Director, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg spoke with their Canadian counterparts, urging them to help resolve this standoff. But I have to say, it's working. I mean, this is the thing. Don't miss this. It's working.
Well, that was the negotiation, right? We will stand here until you talk to us and come up with a plan to change the rules that are currently part of our social contract.
Imagine that.
And so if they get a vote, right, then they should move. That's the negotiation. That's what they had to negotiate with. So they should get They should get a real audience. They should get a real vote.
And meanwhile, he's still in hiding. He's hiding at this like little safe house. Justin Trudeau is. Again, he's doubling down on this. Like he's doubling down on saying, you've got to end this right now. We've got to end this. Go back to your lives. Go back home. Go get your vaccines if you want to do this job. What's amazing to me is that 90% of these truckers are vaccinated.
Right.
So what they're saying is it's not about that. It was their personal choice. It's a personal choice. And that's the message. That's the message. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a membership program. For the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support independent journalism just by going to morninginvest.com/join.
You get access to exclusive videos, plus the ability to join and chat with us live. We really appreciate your subscription, and you are supporting independent journalism.